Could you please share your screen
Okay.
and open PPT?
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, I am
Yes,
able
I
to
am
see
able
your
to see.
screen. And
Okay.
walk me through. Over to you, Sohel.
Okay, Ravali. Today's topic is attribute dimension. Here I am going to explain about attribute dimension, like how to create attribute and how to use it in Smart View, forms, and RTP and business rules. So basically, in these topics, we'll able to show us the usage of attribute dimension, the following artifacts. As I have said, we can use it in data forms, RTP, business rules, and Smart View. So what is attribute in general? And can you give me an example of attribute in the Amazon app? So attributes are basically, it will act like groups where we can categorize the data. So in this example of Amazon app, where we can see categories like home appliances, lifestyles, clothes, and stationery and all. Like this, the attribute plays role in the data. So can you explain the difference between a standard dimension and an attribute dimension? Okay. Standard dimension basically where we can store the data, where we can store the data related to the business process. And whereas the attribute dimension, it will play as an group, like it will divide as a group, and where it will help for the reporting purpose. Next, in which case do you prefer attribute dimension or standard dimension? Uh, yeah, if you want to make the data in groups or divide them, so we can create an attribute. In this case, we'll prefer attribute dimension over standard dimension. So can we assign an attribute dimension into to a dense or sparse dimension? Yeah, here we can only assign a dimension only to a sparse dimension. So dense dimensions are system created and where we cannot edit. So can you show me how to create an attribute dimension? Yeah, in the navigation, we'll go to the home page. In the navigator, we'll select dimensions. Here in the performance settings, you can see like only account is a dense dimension where we cannot create any attributes to it. Remaining all are sparse where we can create the attribute dimensions. So in the dimensions, yeah, I'm going to the entity. Product, will select actions. Here we can create custom attributes. We'll click on add button. Here we can name as attribute name. I'm naming as color. After saving, we can add childs. Like that, we can create attributes. So I am creating childs to the attributes like red, green, yellow, like that. After creating, we'll just save and close. This is the process for creating the attribute. So next, can you show me how to assign attribute to a standard dimension? Okay, here after creating the attribute, we'll expand the product, and here we'll edit the total product, and we'll go to the attribute values, and here we can expand and we can give any of the attributes to it. Like that, we can assign the attribute values to the standard dimension. So next, usage of attribute dimension in data forms. Can you show me how to use attribute dimension in the data form in the page drop down, and show me how the standard dimensions are filtered? So tip, use any of the existing attributes. If not available, create one as below hierarchy. So in this case, we have created one. will show you the navigation in the forms. Yeah, here we'll go to the forms. We'll select a form and we'll edit it. We'll go to the layout options. Here, as you can see, the color which we have created. So in this case, this is how we can assign the attributes to the data form. Oh, yeah, if missing zero setting is enabled, show me how the standard members are filtered for attribute members. Can you move attribute dimension to the POV rows columns? Yes, we can move the attributes to the POV rows and columns. We'll go to the application. We'll just drag it to the POV if we want. We can drag it to the POV. We can drag and drop to the page, or we can even drag and drop to the rows or columns. So in the point of view where we can select only one, and in the dimensions as well, we can select multiple by creating multiple rows in the columns as well. And in the page, we can select multiple attribute members. So here, as you can see, I'm selecting it in page, and here after selecting, we'll just preview. Yeah, here in the drop down, you can see color attribute. Here we can select color, or we can cancel it, and we can make changes, edit, and we can select eye descendants of it. Click on OK and preview. So here in the drop down, we can select any of the attribute here, red, green, or yellow. At any time, we can select it. Like that, we can use this attribute dimension in the forms, in POV, page, or attributes in rows and columns. So coming to the next slide, usage of attribute dimension in RTP. Can we assign attributes dimension or attribute dimension members in RTP? Yes, we can assign it. If yes, can you show me how to assign attribute dimension or attribute dimension members in the RTP? Oh yeah, we'll go to the uh, here we are going to the rules card for creating an RTP. Here in the actions, we'll select variable designer. We'll expand it, and we'll go to the console queue. We'll select and we'll create new RTP. So here I'm naming it as RTP underscore attribute. In the string, I'm selecting number, member, and I'm selecting RTP. And in the dimensions, I'm selecting as the attribute which I have created. Here in this case, yeah, product. After creating, here we'll select the functions. So we'll select attribute, and we'll select here member. We'll search for the attribute which we have created. After selecting, we'll click on OK. We'll click on OK, and here also OK. Yeah, we'll copy this. We'll paste, and in the RTP test, please enter the attribute. We'll save. Yeah, yeah, this is the process for creating an RTP. So variable successfully saved. And next, can you show me how many functions are available to use attributes in the business rule? Yeah. Can you show me at least two functions of an attribute in the business rule expectations? So here we can use the business rule, use the RTP and create the business rule. So in the system view, we'll expand in the, we'll select console and we'll select new object. In the application type, we'll select application type, application name, console cube, and in the object type, we are selecting rules and clicking on OK. So as we can see, the rule has been the name cannot be empty. First, we'll enter the name custom rule 5, custom rule 9, and click on OK. So custom rule 9 created and open for editing. So after it come, we'll do the scripting part. Here, fix. We'll open the bracket, parenthesis, and we'll give the RTP name here, which is RTP underscore attribute 2. We'll copy this and we'll paste over that there. Paste, and in the next we'll do the end fix and we'll validate and deploy. So we'll validate here. So next, in the smart view, usage of attribute in smart view. First, we log into the we have to log into the smart view. Click on smart view panel, and we'll select shared connections. So in the shared connection, first we'll give the credentials and we'll log into it. And over there, we can use the attributes to the smart view, where we'll go to the application once and we can figure it out. Here we'll modify. We'll scroll and we'll disable suppress missing blocks and we'll select shared connections. And in the application, in the PPT, it says like, can you show me how to insert of an attribute in the smart view? Here in the smart view, we'll select shared connections, and in the after opening the form, we'll just enter the attribute name and enter and refresh the data. So this is how we can create the we can use the attribute in the smart view. So first we will open the Excel here. So after opening, we'll select blank workbook, and in the Smart View tab, we'll click on panel, and we'll select shared connections. We'll provide credentials here. Just copying the credentials and pasting it here. After pasting the credentials, we'll click on OK and go. So after entering the process, first we'll select any EPM cloud, and in the EPM cloud, we'll select any of the form. After selecting the form, we'll click on connect, ad hoc analysis. Yeah, in the options, we'll disable suppress missing blocks once again. And now we'll click on ad hoc analysis. Here we'll basically just type the variable name which we have created earlier. In this case, I'm selecting color. We'll click on enter and refresh. So this is how we can add the attribute to the form in the Smart View. Yeah. Yeah, this is the process. In this topic, we have concluded the usage of attribute dimension in the following artifacts, where we have created an attribute. We have assigned it to the data forms, runtime prompts, business rules, and Smart View. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's all, Ravali. The topic has been completed.
Thank you, Suhel.